Nilay, it's great to have you. So we've been talking a lot over the last weeks and months about these layoffs in tech. And there's this idea that Bernstein brings up. They call it Elon's razor, doing more with less staff. Does innovation suffer? I don't think we know the answer to that yet, but it will be an interesting case study, won't it, to see how much Twitter can cut and still produce if they are going to, and what that says about other tech companies that have hired a ton over the last few years.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. I think every Silicon Valley CEO that I have talked to is very curious to see if Elon's moves at Twitter result in a functional company and what that means for their business. I would note that we have no evidence that Twitter will be a functional company or not. It's still very much remains to be seen territory. It seems to be more chaotic than ever actually over there. On the other hand, when you listen to the reasoning for these job cuts at DoorDash, at Meta, and others, what you hear over and over again is that these companies bet on long-term secular shifts in the pandemic around e-commerce, around working from home, and those shifts did not turn out to be true. And in fact, we're not bouncing back to 2020. We're bouncing back to 2019 in terms of people going to the office and traveling and spending on experiences. And a lot of that language sounds really familiar from not just before the pandemic, but even a year before the pandemic. And that, to me, feels opportunistic. If I'm going to be really honest with the audience here, I hear that from these CEOs, and I think Mark Zuckerberg saying, we overbet on e-commerce being a long-term secular shift. Yeah, Mark, I don't think you thought people were going to shop from home forever. I don't think you thought everyone was going to work from home forever in the depths of the pandemic, and your business was big enough to subsidize whatever metaverse creation you want to do. I think you took that opportunity to hire a lot of people because your competitors are hiring a lot of people, and now you have a ready-made excuse to trim your company down against a lot of the growth that you were unable to manage in an all-remote workforce. And I hear that reasoning over and over again, and it is happening especially in tech, where it is true that smaller teams are better.
Nilay, though, I think some of these companies, and it's not just Facebook, maybe Shopify too, it's not that they thought that people were going to shop from home for delivery forever, but the omni-channel trend where people order at home and pick up in store or do curbside, it seemed to be tilting more toward less in person. And it seems that that did take some of these companies by surprise, and so they didn't need the degree of ramp up in workers. I mean, we were talking about DoorDash. Yeah, they're cutting, 1,250-ish people, but they added more than 4,000 people just in the last year, right? So they're pulling back somewhat, these companies, but not even back to 2020 levels. They're just kind of pulling back to, halfway through 2021 level. Well, no, halfway through 2022 levels, I should say, in some cases at the best.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think a lot of it is, yes, they thought that this omnichannel model would work and everyone would. They basically believed that the convenience of their platform would enable them to grow into other markets. And what they're cutting back to is their core business, right? And the core business did grow. What I don't think any of these companies, DoorDash included, anticipated is that there would be actual competition from the regular experience, right? From going to the store, from going to the restaurant, from just wanting to be out in the world. And that is just, if you look at what is happening in tech in particular compared to the rest of the economy, there was a belief that once people experienced the overwhelming convenience of doing everything from home on a computer, they would never go back, and that you could actually grow those experiences into everything else. And I think what you see in particular with a DoorDash, even with some of the cloud companies you're talking about, is, yeah, we don't have to spend that money. We can go spend that money on other things. Our customers have a wide range of opportunities to spend their money on real life experiences, and all the stuff they're doing on their laptop screens. Yes, it might be more convenient, but it might not be as fulfilling. And so you can't just grow, you can't just eat everything with a SaaS business.